Hello, people. Welcome back to another video by your good friend, Chad Marco, the Big Aniki. Make sure you guys check out my other social media. Go ahead and attack that like button right now. And I got a story to tell. Now, contrary to popular belief, every now and then I do actually look for a job. And a while ago, I actually had a job interview at Planet Fitness. You guys know I started going to the gym a while ago. And one of the first things I noticed was just that I really liked the environment. And I was looking at the people who worked there, and I was like, especially the night shift, I was like, yo, this job looks kind of comfy. If you got that, it's a 24-hour gym. So if you have the late night shift, like you're pretty much just watching over a damn near dead building all night, where you might have like 5 or 6 people working out at any given time. So I was like, yo, I might need to start working on trying to get on here. And look at me, I'm fit, I'm in shape. Certainly that would mean something. So I started asking around at the place. I started asking the girl who worked the third shift, the graveyard shift. One of the managers, I thought he was the main manager, but he apparently they got a manager and they got a hiring manager. And so, I was asking them about, whether or not they had openings and things like that. And it seemed like really most of the time they have at least one opening, because they would have like a paper put up on the near the entrance and maybe close to the desk. So I was like, well, they're definitely hiring sometime. So let me just go ahead and apply online. And so, I did the whole apply online thing, and that got me nowhere. Because, what they'll tell you is apply online and then we'll get back to you. And then they don't get back to you. So I was like, you know what? Like this ain't gonna kick it. Like I'm gonna have to be more persistent. I kept thinking back to I told you guys about that part in Demon Slayer where the ghost of that kid was telling Tanjiro, you must advance, you must advance. I kept thinking about that, and I was like, I gotta force this shit to happen. And so I started just calling like twice a week. I would call there, and they would tell me, I think that they would always tell me, okay, well, did you put in an application? Yes, I did. Well, the hiring manager isn't here now, but we'll take your name down and we'll get back to you. And I would give them my name and the number, and they wouldn't get back to me. And so I did this about 4 or 5 times until I finally was able to set up a date for a interview. And so I was so excited, because I felt like I had created an opportunity for myself, basically. And, that part of it meant a lot to me because, my first job working as a janitor, I got that through my sister. But this time, I had created my own opportunity. And so it was cool, kind of seeing that I was able to, set up my own situation to get a job interview this time. But so I get the date, and so I have about a week to prepare. So one of the first things I did, I started looking online at how other people prepare for an interview at Planet Fitness. And generally speaking, and this might have actually hurt me now that I think about it, but it seemed like most people were saying that the whole interview process is really laid back. It's not like Planet Fitness is some upper echelon, big building business where you got to go in there suit and tie, shirt tucked in, uptight and shit like that. People were telling me that, just based on what I was seeing, for the interview, you don't got to be dressed extravagantly or anything like that. You ain't got to have a suitcase, just go there looking neat and be prepared for the questions and things like that. And I remember I made a thread on Fit on how I should prepare. And, they were basically saying like, do you have two legs? Do you got two arms? Then you're good to go. Basically saying like it should be a slam dunk as long as I wasn't completely retarded or went in there, looking like a monster or something. And so seeing all that, it gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, oh man, well I got this. Shit, I'm a handsome young man and full of charisma and character. And so again, I had like a week to prepare. And so the day of the interview came. So I made sure I got myself neat. I had retwisted my braids, got them looking nice and neat. I had a green button up. I had a nice like black jacket, some gray pants that fit really well. I had just gotten some new shoes. I put on some cologne. I didn't want to overdo it, but I just made sure that I looked presentable and neat. And so I drive to Planet Fitness and I go there, and really what I was concerned about was if the hiring manager was even going to be there, because she seemed to be just so elusive, when I was trying to get an interview. But she was actually there when I got there, and I got there like 10 minutes early. Again, I'm trying to do everything right. And so I talked to the hiring manager. She's there. This is my first time meeting her. And she says, oh, well, you're early, so just sit over there and wait, and then I'll call you when I'm ready. I sit down, I get relaxed, I do my breathing exercises, and then we go to the back. She calls me up. We go to the back for the interview. And I got to say, I wasn't really nervous. If anything, I was excited. And, I just said, I'm going to just be me. I'm going to just go in there and I'm going to give her that good old Chad Marco energy, and I'm going to sell myself the best way that I can. And so we started having the interview, and I can't remember like every question that she asked, but a lot of them were like basic questions. Like she asked me about myself, what my hobbies were and things like that. I told her and whatnot. But then the questions started getting a little bit more, I wouldn't say difficult, but there was one question that I think really fucked me up. And so she asked me what my strengths were. Easy, right? But then she asked what my weaknesses were. And I kind of broke the fourth wall here, because I said, wait a minute, ma'am. Why would I tell you, just real quick, why would I tell you what my weaknesses are? Wouldn't that be self-sabotage? Right? And, looking back, that probably wasn't like the best question. That probably wasn't the best way to, answer that question. But I found it to be a very weird question, because I was just asking her frankly, like, wouldn't somebody just lie in this situation? Like why would you ask a question like that? And then she explained it to me, well, everybody has weaknesses. And so, just whatever your weaknesses may be, right, just tell me whatever. And that really stumped me. And so I told her, just give me a second while I think of something. But that was the question that really got me, because I felt like I was self-sabotaging no matter what I said. It's kind of like if you were in an interrogation room and the police officer just asked you a question and you like, there is no easy way out of it. And it's like, either way you're gonna look bad. It's like, someone killed John. What do you think of John? And you hate him. It's like, it's kind of like that. So I came up with something simple, but I think that was definitely one of the questions that hurt me for sure, because I didn't have a prepared response, because it's a self-sabotage question. I had a friend explain it to me later when I told him about it, and he basically said, it's the kind of question where you give like the most basic low level kind of weakness possible, like nothing that would make them not want to hire you, but just something that shows a level of humility and self-awareness of your own lack of perfection, your inability to achieve perfection. Right. And but again, I was not prepared for that. And that one really got me and caused me to, pause and really just sit. I'm literally just sitting there. What can I think of that's not gonna make me look too bad? I was not ready for that one. But then after that, I think again, more like general questions. She was asking like questions like, if there was an issue in the gym where I needed to confront somebody who was breaking one of the rules or being rude and causing problems for the other customers, would I be able to do that? And, I was like, sure, absolutely. That question right there, though, it bothered me a little bit because I remember there was one night where I went to the gym and the girl that was there, she asked me to stay because she was afraid to confront these guys who came in without signing in. So I'm sitting there watching her back. Right? It was late and we were like the only ones in the gym. And so it just bothered me because it was so funny that she's asking me this shit. And I know you got people working here who can't even do what you're asking me, what I can do. I'm sitting here watching her back so she can confront somebody. Right? Right. But anyway, so again, the interview is just going on. And I think for the most part, I felt like I was answering the questions well. If I had to say, because I was specifically applying for the janitor position. And so I was really hanging my hat on that. But then she kind of threw a curveball my way. And she was saying that basically the way it works in here, everybody does some everything. And so she was letting me know that even if I got hired, it's not like I would just be the janitor. I would probably have to do like working at the front desk and handling the transactions and shit. Yeah, and I told her that's fine. Whatever the specifics are as far as how you have to operate the front desk area, I got it. I can figure it out in no time. That's fine with me. Even though I came in for the janitor position, whatever you guys got to do at the front desk, I can do that too. And I kind of feel like that might have hurt me too, because I feel like she might have looked at it like, oh, this just some janitor bum. he don't know how to use a computer. He don't know how to handle transactions. So maybe that also hurt me because I came in thinking that, and in my defense, I applied specifically for the open janitorial position. I would have applied for any position really, other than like manager or something, but that stood out to me because I actually have experience there. And so I think that might have hurt as well. But this is what got me. Spoiler alert, I didn't get the job. So, and I was feeling really confident. I was like, I came there like, I know I got this, man. And so at the end of the interview, I kind of said this in like a tongue-in-cheek way. I was, trying to be cute. But again, my confidence was through the roof. So I said, so at the end of the interview, I said, so when do I start? But that was my confidence just gone right there. And then she said, well, right now we're pretty much fully staffed. When we have an open position, we may get back to you. And when she said that, I swear, I stood there like froze. Like, you guys ever seen Ed, and Eddie? And the big dumb one, Ed, like the big dumbass one. There were like these scenes where they would show like a close up on his face, and then like he would just be like brain dead, like just nothing going on. It's like just froze, like just ding dong, ding dong. I looked just like that. I was just mind fucked, just shocked, disbelief, like stuck. Just like, and I swear I must have sat there for like 15 seconds straight, just looking like, what the fuck? And see, of course I was disappointed about not getting the job. But it wasn't that. It was the fact that she's telling me we're fully staffed, but the only reason I was able to apply was because there was an open position. Why would you give me your interview if you're fully staffed? Why would there be flyers up that you're looking for people to hire if you're fully staffed? Why would the job opening be on the internet if you're fully staffed? She lied to my fucking face. And that's what bothered me more than anything else. She didn't have the balls to tell me straight up, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't trust you to work here as a team member. And that's what really bothered me. It wasn't the fact that I didn't get it. It was the fact that she wasted my fucking time. And that she didn't have the balls to just tell me straight up that she didn't like me. That she did whatever it was about me that she didn't want me. She had to give me this bullshit that you're not fully staffed if you're doing fucking interviews. If that was the case, then you would have told me on the phone. So again, I freeze and I'm stuck once she says that. And so once I finished processing that this bitch just played me to my face, I say, okay, well, thank you, ma'am. I get up and I recover and I say, thank you, ma'am. And well, yes. And then, basically the basic pleasantries of me getting the fuck out. And then I walk to my car and I drive off. And, on the way home, I couldn't help but think of why I always try to, be a successful content creator on the side. And because it's a terrible feeling having to step into the normie world and having to go through these type of interviews and shit like that, and you could point to any sort of specific question or something that I might have gotten wrong, but I feel like more than anything, she just didn't like me. And I feel like the worst thing I did was that I didn't pass the normie test. Kind of like when you guys see me on the Pineapple Show and how it takes them no time to recognize, oh, this motherfucker's a weirdo. I kind of felt like that. I felt like more than anything, I failed the normie test. And it just kind of reiterated to me why it's so important for me to find my own way in this world to make money. And not saying that I'm not gonna look for another job or anything like that. I'm still gonna keep looking, but it was definitely one of those experiences that was like, okay, this is why you need to be your own boss. This is why you need to find another way to make money, because you can't depend on other people to accept you and to like you and to bring them into their place of business to earn money. And this is the saddest part of it though, because I told my mom I had the job interview, and she was excited, my niece was excited, I was excited. It was and then I was like, I gotta go home and tell my mom that I didn't get it. And that day, and I didn't realize this at the time, but my mom baked the cake that day. And looking back, I was like, she baked that cake probably out of excitement of, oh, this is his big job interview day. And, hoping and thinking I would come home with the good news, and I didn't. And, it reminded me of the episode of Good Times when the father, James, when he went to the job interview and he didn't get it, and the whole family was waiting for him, and then he came there with the bad news. That's what I hated about this. I had to come home with the bad news and shit like that. And, I felt like my mom kind of got her hopes. So we all did. And, after that, I just kind of just took a break from the job search and, just kind of gave myself time to recover from the rejection. But, once I got over it, again, I was disappointed. But the silver lining to it all for me was that, like I said earlier, I was able to create my own opportunity as far as getting a job interview. And I got to really look at that and say, okay, I put myself in position to get a job interview. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to seal the deal and get the job. But if I can create more opportunities for more job interviews, then it's just a matter of reflecting on previous job interviews and what I potentially did wrong, making adjustments, and then moving forward from there. And so, again, I'm not feeling like defeated or disappointed about it because I can look at it like a gradual process. All right, I know that I can put in the effort. I know now that it takes a certain level of persistence to even get the job interview. You can't just fill out applications online and wait. They're not gonna get back to you. I know that now. You keep calling, force them to give you an interview, basically. And then from there, you got your shot. You got your opportunity, and you got to make the most of it. So, again, even though I fucked it up, I still feel like it was a win in that I learned how to create the opportunity. Now I know I can make my own shot. Now I just got to figure out how to get the ball through the hoop. So hopefully next time when I come back to you guys with my next job story, it'll be something positive, but or something, or like a full success, I should say. But yeah, that was my failed Planet Fitness job interview story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please tell me any of your job interview stories in the comments below. Remember, smash that like button, and I will see you guys later. Johnny.